JPL has always been recognized as a place that can do the impossible. In order for JPL to stay in the cutting edge and to be the leader of the future in space exploration, we need to create the workforce and the work environment of the future. Not only known for what it is that we're doing, but for how it is that we're doing our work.
And that doesn't just involve your technologies, it doesn't just involve your engineering, it doesn't just involve your programs. Really, it involves the whole culture and how your people see that culture, how you operate in that culture, and how you make them feel when they come to work every day.
So you can think of the quest areas as some destinations that we want to reach within the next decade or so. But there are a number of things that we need to do now that will enable us to embark on these journeys. And that's what these thrust areas really are.
One of the things that we've identified is that we will have the largest generational shift that's ever happened in history. The baby boomers will be retiring over the course of the next 10 and 15 years. We also know that there are many industries today that will be looking at the same talent that we historically have looked at. In order to increase the engagement of our employees and to continue to attract employees for the future, we need to have a workplace that's compelling as well.
And when you talk about creating the workplace of the future, it's number one, just the environment. What does that look like? What does your office look like? What does your lab look like?
The trend is for people to want to work together. They want to be able to work at all hours of the day, and they want to be able to work from anywhere.
It really means that the person working at JPL or outside JPL for JPL is the most productive person. Productivity is also creativity. So it's working outside, it's working inside, it's working in conference room, and it's working with partners.
So we are working on how do we increase flexibility, how do we increase collaboration, how do we make sure we've got the latest technology that people can use. Each year with our investment funding, we are able to go into more and more buildings to renovate them, to make more open space, collaborative space, video conferencing, bringing in the technology that our employees need to do their job well.
What we do is extremely important. Building projects, building instrumentation, going and doing missions, executing those missions. But how we do that work is just as important.
In innovating how we work, part is to speed up the cycle. Using JPL Pitch Day and Spark, we get ideas. And we take those ideas into a prototype in weeks. Not only for JPL, but as an FFRDC, we're prototyping for NASA. And many of the things that we come up with end up benefiting NASA. One example of that is cloud computing. On OCO2, using cloud computing, we were able to reprocess the data in 1/10 of the time at 1/10 of the cost. Then came Microsoft HoloLens. That technology is now used to explore Mars and also to design spacecraft. And everybody sees the same thing. It's a completely different way of working. Another example is the SMAP mission, where we went from printed drawings to drawings on a touchscreen that they could just edit online. Very successful, that spread to other missions immediately. Another example is 3D printing. We prototyped it and found that we could be 30 times faster and 30 times more efficient. So the cycle time speeds up by 10-fold. We are working like a startup, pennies on the dollar, compared to what we used to do.
As an entity that's funded by taxpayer dollars, it is absolutely critical that we tell our story. And I think we have an incredible story to tell.
We're making the robots that go and explore Earth, the solar system, and the universe. But what good is all of that information if it doesn't get communicated back to us here on Earth?
In a world that's becoming more and more technical, we're key for people to understand how science works and what it accomplishes and what it discovers.
At their very core, social media platforms are a place to have a conversation. And we can start the conversation with a piece of news. And we don't leave untended conversations out there. We're looking and seeing what people are saying. We can see what they're excited about, what they like, what they have questions about. And this helps us think strategically about our communications.
Today, bringing multiple resources to the same story can be really powerful. Instead of just creating a press release, we might create a video, we might do an infographic, a social media shareable, a 360 video. We might do a teachable moment for the classroom that educators can use. And so instead of just the feature story, we've got this whole portfolio of communication products that goes out at the same time.
And then what we do, which is kind of cool, we allow about 1,000 or so interns to come here to JPL. They're already inspired because of all the great content we put out. And then we bring them here to work alongside researchers to become part of the discovery process. It's intensely motivating and transformational for students. They experience discovery. And then when they graduate, they want to come join us here at JPL. They want to become part of the team full-time and really make a career out of this discovery process.
Reaching out to the public like this, getting them engaged, that's what creates the explorers of the future. That creates that talent pool that we will be able to draw upon in the future. You know, it doesn't matter how many good ideas you have. If you do not have a commitment and an environment in which those ideas can be executed, they just remain ideas. The thrusts allow us to focus our energy and create the environment in which we will be able to implement those great ideas that our employees have.